Scott, if you are the big time successful photographer that you portray, why don't you buy the best camera kit? Why don't you buy the best camera? And this is a lot of the comments I've been getting. And I know a lot of people want to know that the advice they're getting is coming from someone reputable. And there's the fear that I'm not reputable. And a lot of it is down to like, why are you not just buying the best camera? And there's a real good reason for this. For those who don't know, I bought a Fuji, I've got a Cambo, we've got all this technical doodari. And it's okay, but it has loads of qualms. And the reason we don't buy the best camera is this. Here is what I shot in a year. Liquids moving for an ad campaign, stills. I'm only going to talk about stills for this. Video kit's very complex and not worth going into in one video. We shot product work. I shot something with people in it. I shot a very high volume food shoot for a food brand who had to get loads done in a week. I shot stop motion. I shot some drink work with splashes in composite. And we shot a load of other products. So from all of that, we need a camera that can, given all the outputs we needed, print at full resolution at a minimum of 100 megapixels, shoot at a high burst rate, get everything in focus whilst having the aperture quite wide, have great color depth, and be functional to use. This camera would be amazing. But it doesn't exist. And let me show you why. You might be like, well, Scott, you got the Fuji. Why didn't you get a phase 1 back and put it on the Cambo? That's great. We did that. Yes, we did. It is beautiful if you have time and nothing moving. Bigger sensor, smaller depth of field at the same distance. It means focusing takes longer with a technical camera. The phase 1 and the digital lens on the front of it, you cock the shutter, you tell the back that it needs to be ready to receive a file, and you press a cable and it takes the frame. You then have to redo that to take the next frame. It's like one frame every 5 seconds if you're going like a rifleman in like the Napoleonic War. But great for some stuff, would have been useful in the splashes. Well, then get a Canon R5, 50 megapixels, burst mode, fire at that. Absolutely. Doesn't have the color bit depth. And that's really important in a lot of my work, and it's not quite high enough resolution for some of those jobs we did. There is no perfect camera. There is no camera that does it all. And of course, you might be saying, well, Mr. Big Time, why don't you buy all of them? Why don't you buy a phase 1, a Fuji, an R5? And yeah, I could do. But we do maybe 4 or 5 big jobs a year. That's a lot of kit depreciating at an insane rate. Just to own a bit of everything, just in case, we just rent it. That's why we rent it. That's why I suffer the Fuji. The Fuji camera is infuriating. But for personal work and test shoots, it is the closest to ticking off as many boxes as possible. It can shoot kind of fast. It is high resolution. It is kind of medium formatty. It's not too difficult to focus because it's not massive 645, but it's not a 35mm sensor either. It's kind of the best of both worlds, and that's why we landed on it. But short of buying a phase and a backup, a Fuji and a backup, an R5 and a backup, or probably a Sony with a global shutter nowadays, but I don't know what model that is. But short of doing that and spending over £100,000, and I'd get absolutely no more money from shoots for it, it just doesn't make sense. That's why I'm suffering the bad Fuji, because it's the best. Is it the best? It is. It ticks the most boxes. It's the closest to a good camera that I can get for what I do, which is quite varied despite me being in a very narrow niche. The technical requirements of what we do are insane, and there is no one size fits all, which is why I'm not going to video here, because video, different camera for every single job. There's not even any point in owning a good video camera because every job is so different. You just don't know. You don't know what you're going to need. I've got this Blackmagic for YouTube. This is the best. This is the Fuji of video, I guess. It does kind of slow-mo. It's got nice B-raw, good bit depth, good dynamic range, grades nicely. Files are not too unwieldy. You know, I can edit it on an M1 Mac Mini. It's all right. Does the job. Does the job for YouTube really well too. I like the look of the YouTube videos I get from here. Which is why we've got the window open, we've got the blue jacket, we've got the blue on the sofa. I'm trying to look at the screen at the same time. This is disastrous, but it works nicely for me. I like it. It does the job. But there we go. That's why I don't own the perfect camera. It doesn't exist. for me. It might do for you. If I was a sports photographer, I'd be like, yeah, whatever the top of the line, it's not an SLR anymore, is it? Mirrorless, Canon, Fuji, Nikon, Sony, whatever it is, that will be the best camera. It will do everything for me. But there's too many technical requirements in my work for me to find a perfect camera. But I would love to own a Phase, just can't justify it.